you wave? Thank you so much for being here tonight and for your generous hearts in supporting Ronald McDonald House Charities of Idaho. We are the parents of our little miracle, Ezekiel, or Zeke, Aaron. We chose his name because it means God strengthens and mountain of strength, and his name has proved to be very fitting from the beginning. We want to share a small piece of our journey with you, not because it's easy to tell, but because it shows why places like the Ronald McDonald House matter so deeply. Our story is incredibly long, and we only have 10 minutes, so we have to leave out a ton of details, but hopefully you can still follow along.
It starts when I was first pregnant, and I was pregnant with twins, but early on had some complications, and we went to the doctor, and they weren't able to find any heartbeats, but said sometimes, good job. Sometimes that happens early on, and to come back next week, and hopefully they would find 2 strong, healthy heartbeats. Well, when we went back, we did hear a strong, healthy heartbeat, but just one. But little did we know, good job, that surviving heartbeat would continue to be the source of hope for months to come. When I was 15 weeks pregnant, my water broke completely. And we went to the ER that night, and they told us that at 15 weeks there was nothing that they could do for the baby, and that most women go into labor within 48 hours. Then they sent us home to wait and said that I could go, that I could give birth really anywhere at any time. The next day, you're wrapped around me. And my hair. I'll just keep them. It's about how it goes.
You think we'd done this before?
The next day, we went to my OB, and he confirmed that there was still no amniotic fluid, but we heard that same strong heartbeat that we had heard weeks before. He talked us through impossible options and explained that this was life-threatening to my health and that our baby would most likely not survive, and if he did, he wouldn't live very long and would have a very painful life. We were sent to specialists here in Boise. We're from Twin Falls. And they all told us the same thing over and over, to terminate the pregnancy.
We went home again, scared to move, scared to breathe too deeply. Every time we went in for fetal heart tones every week, we would pray. We would pray that we would still hear that little fighter's heartbeat. Every week became a prayer, just one more week, one more week. We sought every option we could find, consultation specialists, hope against hope, and somehow, week by week, that little heartbeat kept going. The doctors were shocked, but we knew God had blessed him with the spirit of a fighter. Since we decided to continue to let our baby fight, we had to decide which day we wanted the doctors to resuscitate him. If Madison did go into labor. This felt like an impossible decision, but we ended up deciding on 23 weeks.
So on February 3rd, I was admitted to the hospital for monitoring until I went into labor. And I ended up staying in the hospital here in Boise for 7 weeks. At almost 30 weeks, I went into labor, which was an absolute miracle after rupturing so early. The delivery room was packed with doctors and nurses in the NICU team. I heard them whisper, "This is the 15-week rupture." I had a C-section. I didn't get to see Zeke, but I heard a tiny cry and knew that he was born alive at a whopping 3 pounds. The NICU team resuscitated him and immediately whisked him away. Later, they told me that he'd made it to the NICU, which was his first huge hurdle. Because they didn't know if he'd even make it that far. I was later taken to recovery, where eventually the neonatologist came in and told me to prepare because my baby was very sick.
The first day was brutal. There was tubes everywhere. When Madison was finally able to see him, There was IVs, bandages, monitors beeping. I watched her lean over. She kissed her hand, touched the incubator, and she whispered to him, "Be strong, my baby." And in true Zeke fashion, he continued to defy all the odds and shocked everybody. He fought and started breathing over his ventilator after just 4 days. They were able to extubate him, and the next day, Madison was able to hold her baby for the first time, and there were a lot of tears.
Then the day came that I had been dreading ever since I knew we'd have a NICU stay. I had to be discharged. I had to walk away from the hospital and leave my baby behind. My dad and brothers and Braden moved 7 weeks of hospital stuff across the street to the Ronald McDonald house.
And I'll never forget Madison's face when she walked into the Ronald McDonald house. She was like, "Hey, this is nicer than our house." After weeks of delicious hospital food, hospital beds, and a tiny hospital shower, the Ronald McDonald house was truly a gift. There was a real kitchen, home-cooked meals, even a simple cheeseburger or those little sliders. Oh my gosh, they were so good. They tasted like heaven. There was a real shower. Yeah, I gained a lot of weight there. The stress, the food, it was awesome. A quiet place to rest, a laundry room. For 7 weeks, Madison's grandma and aunt or her mom would drive into Boise to get her clothes cleaned. One night, I went downstairs to refill Madison's ice pack, and I ran into another dad doing the same. We just nodded at each other, and there was this unspoken camaraderie at the house that comes from parents all just trying to help their kids survive and trying to survive themselves. The house became our lifeline. Being literally across the street from Zeke changed everything. We could be there in minutes for every milestone and every scare. Madison would put her shoes out every night just in case she needed to literally run back to the hospital. I was working in Twin Falls 3 days a week, and so I was back and forth. When Madison was alone at the house and didn't have a car, I knew she'd be okay because the house had everything she needed. They even let her sisters or her mom stay when they were in town. Without it, I don't know where we would have stayed. I don't know how we would have afforded it, or how we would have kept our strength. It's more than just a place to sleep. It's comfort, community, and family when you need it most. Zeke had many ups and downs in the NICU, and for the majority of the time, there was no end in sight. I remember going up to one of the staff members, and I needed to get a new sticker for our car so that we could keep our car there. And she was like, "What day do you want me to put? When do you guys think you're going to go home?" And I just remember sitting there like, I have no idea. I feel like we're going to be here for the rest of our lives. And she just said, "As long as there's a medical need, you can stay as long as you need." Zeke's little lungs were doing miraculously well, considering all he'd been through, but he needed a lot of time to be able to be strong enough to go home. Zeke was in the NICU for a total of 262 days, so the Ronald McDonald House became our home for those 262 days in a row and housed us for appointments and procedures countless times since.
And we know that we're not alone. Every year, the Ronald McDonald House provides thousands of overnight stays, providing a haven for heartbroken parents and allowing them to focus on what matters most, being there for their child. The Ronald McDonald House has been such a blessing to my family in so many ways and has always had such a special place in our heart. When I was younger, my parents stayed at the Ronald McDonald House in Salt Lake several times so they could be close to my sweet little sister, who was often unexpectedly admitted to primary children's. I was always grateful for the Ronald McDonald House, but I never imagined I would use it for my own child, and it would become my home for almost a year. Just a few months ago, my other sister gave birth to the most beautiful triplets in Idaho Falls, and they were in the NICU for 35 days. We dedicate this speech to them. And she and her husband felt so blessed to have access to the Ronald McDonald family room there in Ermac so that they could be with their babies as much as possible. We just had no idea how much our family would need the Ronald McDonald programs so desperately. Our Zeekers is thriving today because of the God of miracles, prayer, amazingly dedicated family, friends, and medical staff, and because of the Ronald McDonald House Charities of Idaho that held us together when everything was falling apart. If you've ever wondered whether your support makes a difference, please know that it does. Every donation keeps the family close, gives them rest, a warm meal, a place to cry and to laugh and to breathe, and so much more. Thank you for believing in families like ours, for helping create more miracles. We thank God every night that people like you who don't even know us have donated so much time and money and energy so that we could survive. We will never forget, and we will never let Zeke forget how the kindness of strangers held our family together.
From the bottom of our hearts, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madison. Thank you so much, Braden, and thank you so much, Zeke, for your vulnerability and your courage to share your story. And Mama, Zekers has your eyes. 268 nights. Wow, that's a long time. I know we're tearing up. I know you all are as well.
Yeah, I might need a minute.
Yeah. As parents, we know, right? We see, we understand, we get it. And hearing that story, I know it's called the Ronald McDonald House, but Braden, like you said, it's not a house, it's a home. It is a home. It's a community, it's a safe space, it's reassurance, it's love, it's support. And that's why we're all here. That is why we are all here tonight. So, I think it is time to raise some funds for Zekers and for all the families that came before them and for all the families that are going to come after.
That's right. Friends,